All right, guys, in today's video, we are going to tell you the 4 things that you must do when you go to visit San Francisco. So the number one most important thing that you should do when you go on your trip to San Francisco is to go see Alcatraz. So as I'm sure most of you know, Alcatraz is an island, so you need to take a boat to get over there. Here we took a picture of the boat schedule, at least what it was at the time when we went. Here's a picture of the boat. Make sure that you're booking in advance, because we'd been told by someone that lives somewhat local to there that these tours book up very quickly because it's probably the most in-demand tour in the San Francisco area. So make sure, if you want to do this, which we highly suggest you do, that you book it pretty far in advance. As soon as you know who's going and how many tickets you need, we would suggest getting tickets. One of the top things I would say about visiting Alcatraz too, depending on when you're going, is make sure that you dress warm. We were there in April, and it was pretty comfortable throughout the day, but that boat ride over and the island itself is right on the water, and I was freezing. We both wore light jackets. Isha was comfortable, but I was freezing. I felt like I should have worn a winter coat there. So depending on when you're going, make sure that you're dressing appropriately, and keep in mind that you're going to be right on the water where it's a little colder than where it may be on the mainland. Also, what we want to say is make sure that you're keeping an eye on the times for the boats. They won't leave you on the island. They're going to make sure everyone's back on that last boat. And from what we understand, there's not a set boat you need to go back on. You can kind of stay on the island for as long as you want. And we were there for about an hour and a half. I think an hour and a half to 2 hours is a good amount of time to see what there is inside the prison and outside. Because one of the things they had talked about was that there's more to Alcatraz than just the prison. So there is a lot to explore there. But just keep an eye on when you want to get back, especially if you're doing the day tour and have other things planned for the day. Because the line to get back on the boat starts pretty early before the boat actually arrives. So if you want to make sure that you get on a specific timed boat, make sure you're there and lined up a little bit early just to secure your spot on there. So personally, this was probably my favorite part of San Francisco, the Fisherman's Wharf. So number 2 on our list is to go visit the Fisherman's Wharf. It's a really fun section of San Francisco. It's right on the water. There's so much to do there. As you could see in our videos we took, there is a ton of restaurants and little shops, and they have it just set up really nice. Right here I have video inside of this old-timey arcade they have. It's called Musée Mécanique. That is pretty fun too. They've got all these old-time games. And coming up soon is going to be a picture of Laughing Sal. There we go. Which I guess has been there since, I can't remember how long, but I think nearly 100 years. So I thought that was really neat. We had a great time at the Fisherman's Wharf, and I would highly suggest seeing that section of the city, even if your hotel isn't right nearby. I definitely think it's worth stopping in. And for our number 3 must-do thing in San Francisco, we highly suggest that you book a big bus tour. So the way it works is it's one of the hop-on, hop-off buses that you sometimes see in cities, and it takes you all around San Francisco. And as you can see, we took the bus across the Golden Gate Bridge, which we both thought was really, really cool. We expected to be going near it. There's a park that leads into the Golden Gate Bridge, but we were not expecting to go over it. So that was a really awesome experience. So the Big Bus Tour is a great thing, especially to do on your first day in San Francisco, because it helps you to see what areas you might want to check out more of. And the great thing is just like in the name, you can hop on and hop off. So whatever is of interest to you, you can explore more so. And for our fourth must-do thing in San Francisco, we highly suggest that you go and visit Chinatown. When we went there, it was really an immersive experience. There is a ton of great, authentic Chinese restaurants. As you can see, they have street performers that are there. The streets are all decked out, and it really is like transporting you to another place. You can see right here, they had like one of the Chinese dragons. They were doing all this performing throughout the streets, and one of the ladies we were talking to at one of the shops say they have things like that going on in this area all the time. So it was really fun and exciting. If you saw our last video, you'll see that the particular restaurant that we picked, we didn't love, but we have heard nothing but good things about the restaurants in Chinatown. But just make sure to do your research to find one that you'll really like. But it's definitely worth stopping in just to experience Chinatown itself. There's a lot to see. And for our fifth and final must-do thing in San Francisco, we highly suggest that you go to One Ferry Building. While we were there, it was pretty nice weather, and they had an outdoor farmers market, but there's also an indoor area as well. So this building and this farmers market outside has all kinds of fresh produce. As you can see here, we found a bunch of different mushrooms for sale. There's fruits, vegetables, and then baked goods, along with some other non-edible things too. You can find candles and soaps, and we would suggest it to maybe find some local goods if you're interested in that. And that is the last on our list, so we hope you enjoyed our video. We loved our time in San Francisco and would highly suggest going to visit this city. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and keep an eye out for other travel videos. Bye!